what you're doing and stop Spider-Man.
Wait, you?
We ready to roll?
Broadcasting live from the internet, it's Tuesday night, and this is the Panels on Pages podcast.
Big boys playing with big toys.
This is quality content.
The boomers are into it.
Hey man, I just show up.
With your host, Lee Rodriguez.
I am a visionary. Like, I have a podcast, so like, no, that's not me. That's somebody else.
Jason Nyes.
Yeah, sure. I'm not getting any vegetables in my diet. I'm just a thick boy.
Jose Guzman.
Is Jose on the show tonight?
He says he's coming.
It's like Elton John all over again, just minus the death threats.
Kelly Harris.
Reach your hand in your pants there, big boy. That's not me. I don't sound like that anymore.
And our good buddy Mahoney.
And Mahoney's here. What's up, Mahoney?
We can do just glorious, wonderful things on our phones, people.
No one's ever done anything like this before.
It's gonna be massive.
It's going to be great. I mean, obviously, I think it'll be great.
And it's all killer, no filler.
My seat's on fire! Your take's so hot!
Come on. It's so good.
It's pretty good. It's there. It's reliable. You know what you're getting every single time.
Man, I'm so glad you found us.
You're all terrible people, and I'm glad you're my friend.
Put that in the intro.
That's really funny.
Over 500 episodes, and you'd think they'd have the hang of it by now.
It seems like the concept that would run its course very quickly. What is happening, everybody? We're back! Today is Tuesday, June 6th, 2023, and this is episode number 632 of the Panels on Pages podcast. I am your host, the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez. Joining us tonight, we got Mr. Jason Nyes.
Large William.
Kelly Harris is here.
Sometimes you just look through some comic books and you find Daffy Gaddafi.
That's true. Sometimes it do be like that. And our good buddy Mahoney is here. What's up, Mahoney?
Sorry, I'm still making a list of all the slurs Kelly was saying before the show.
I
love that
no slurs.
Before the show, you were pronouncing it Daffy Gaddafi.
I know, because I don't know what it is.
Daffy Gaddafi, but I think it's Daffy Gaddafi is the joke. Daffy Gaddafi.
Daffy. Oh, Daffy.
Yeah, Daffy Gaddafi sounds like somebody Elon Musk knows.
Yeah, Daffy Gaddafi is Zsa Zsa Gabor's boyfriend.
We thought Jose was going to be with us tonight, but he had an emergency. He's having a toenail removed. It's a whole fucking thing, but he should be back.
It's in his forehead.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what are the chances?
Yeah.
And it wasn't an emergency. It was an elective surgery.
Not his own toenail. That's the craziest thing. Somebody else's. I'll let you figure out who.
When your foot fetish bites back.
Oh, my God. It's Soviet Russia. He'll stomp you. Oh, Christ.
He should have showed up.
Yeah, I'm fucking sore as shit. Everything hurts.
Hi,
Back in the gym, training jiu-jitsu again. I accidentally choked a guy so hard with my arms today that my fucking forearms hurt because I had his neck squeezed between them, and now my arms hurt. And he almost passed out. So
yeah.
I guess I came out ahead of that one.
How's his fucking neck, Lee?
Probably not great. But, he's one of these fucking young kids that doesn't know when to tap out. And I'm like, I got him locked in, and I'm like, okay, you're done now. You should tap this out.
Say goodnight.
Or he just nutted in his pants. Did he?
He might have done that because he was in there for a minute. I'm like, buddy, this is only gonna go one way, and he was still squirming. And I just fucking put the squeeze on him. That's how it goes.
He's like, yeah, it's only going one way, so come in my pants.
Right. He just got back from the Renaissance Fair this past weekend where they fed him a Mike's Hard Lemonade while they talked dirty to him.
Oh my God! Yeah, I will never forget that as long as I live, no matter how hard I try. It's fucking wild. So we're talking Spider-Man tonight. Holy shit, are we talking Spider-Man tonight? Fuck. It's so good, you guys. The Spider-Verse is that shit is art, son. But we'll get into that later.
We'll
get into that later.
Really
so
special.
Yeah, fucking what? Yeah, Spider-Man is actually one of 3 movies I saw in a goddamn theater last week. I was busy as it was nuts. We went to see The Machine, which was a lot of fun. Then I went to see Shin Kamen Rider. Kelly saw it at the exact same time, so we were like, virtually watching together. It was nice.
Wow.
Pretty much.
And then we saw the Spider-Man. It was a hell of a
and
night.
Probably had very similar theater experiences.
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah. With those Fathom events for Japan shit,
It's the
you kind of
same
know what
crowd
you're
every
into.
time.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much the same crowd.
Are those usually packed or like half full?
This was about half full, I think. Yeah, something thereabouts.
So the weird thing with my showing was it was about half full. The screen outside of the theater, outside of the showing room or whatever the fuck, pretty much every seat was sold. So I don't know what happened if people were
and didn't go.
If they did that, or because there was on like the Monday before they opened up a whole bunch of other theaters to show it. So I wonder if people were just like, oh, I'll just go to this theater that's closer to my house, but they didn't bother to like exchange the other tickets.
That could be it.
Yeah, so it's super weird because everything, like I was in the back row because those were the best seats we could get.
Did you use your phone?
Damn.
No, I didn't use my phone.
You should have used your phone. It's so great.
What am I gonna?
It's all subtitled. You can't.
It's all subtitled.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Just
Why you
turn on
can't watch
Google
subtitles,
Translate.
Kelly? Because you can't be on your phone during it.
Oh my god.
It was great though.
We've been over this 100 times.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. One of my favorite bits, and it didn't come full circle for me until the next day. So, there's a bit in the middle where the Kamen Rider, which they're calling a Masked Rider in the subtitles, which I will never fucking do. I
don't like.
understand it. Nah, never.
And it feels like Toei kind of even gave up on trying to localize Kamen Rider as Masked Rider. So it's like I don't know why the subtitler decided to do that.
Yeah, I'm never gonna call it that. I'm just not gonna.
No.
But he's fighting this fucking half chameleon, half mantis thing, and he gets his leg all fucked up. His leg's broken and beyond repair. And so then, the dude who had been,
I dropped my microphone.
Oops, I knocked over the salt.
Oops, I knocked over the salt.
fucking
gotta
broke
get-
his leg.
One of those Britney Spears headsets.
Yeah.
The big ass battery pack. But no, so his leg's all fucked up, and then the guy who, he kind of just recently unbrainwashed him, and he's Kamen Rider 2, jumps in, finishes the fight against the chameleon guy, and then the rest of the movie they fucking team up, right? And I had always known Kamen Rider 2 was a thing because he's in the source material as well, but I thought it was from the second show. But I did not know until the next day that during production of the original series, the lead actor fucking broke his leg in an accident, a motorcycle accident on set. And so they brought in the second character to be the new Kamen Rider, and then once his leg healed and he went back to the set, they teamed up for the rest of the series. And I'm like, that is fucking genius. It's such a neat little thing that is so much better if you fucking know. It's one of those if you know kind of things that I didn't know, but now I do know, and it's I see what you did there. It's pretty fucking neat.
Yeah, no, that was a cool touch. I like that.
Some really kick-ass suit designs on the monsters, the bad guys that they fight. But the
Yeah.
Kamen Rider suits were real basic, which is kind of cool, actually. It even translates into all the toys they're making, like the figure arts and the models and whatever. They have very slight builds compared to the overly kind of, armored up suits that they wear today in the show. It's just basically a leather jacket with some padding on it. Pretty wild.
Yeah, and then Lee and I also both built the Shin Kamen Rider figure eyes kit.
We sure did.
We really just had the same week.
We kind of did. Well, not exactly, because Saturday I went to a friend's birthday party at a local bar. They were doing karaoke, and he wanted to have his party there, and so had all of his he brought his family and his friends and whatever aren't our friends. It's a big thing, And so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go to this. And so I brought my Switch with me, like you do to these things. And I sit down across from these people I've never fucking met these people, but exchange your pleasantries like you do. And I'm playing my Donkey Kong, and this lady is like, "What you playing over there?" I'm like, "Donkey Kong." She's like, "Oh, okay." And then thinking of it, we
Which
just chat
Donkey
back and
Kong
forth.
are you playing?
Donkey Kong Country, fucking what is it? Tropical Freeze, I think it's called.
Okay.
like the new one,
Baja Blast.
Okay.
Well,
hanging out.
that's not really new.
It's the newest one.
Yeah.
It's the newest one.
Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, did a fucking new Donkey Kong come out that I'm not aware of? And he's just like, yeah, I had to play it. It came out on Friday, and I couldn't live without playing this Donkey Kong.
I'm hopping back with sometimes it's even Mario. I'm just fucking like I'm just killing. I need it to kill time. You know what I mean? I'm just I'm out in the world. I'm just fucking playing my Switch. I'm
Better
chiming in.
playing Donkey Kong than talking to a bunch of donkeys.
Yeah.
Well, just wait. So as
Better playing Donkey Kong than having a honky dong.
yeah, there's plenty of honky dongs, and I'm doing that thing I do where like I can't help it. Like I'm always listening.
Mhm.
So people assume I'm not paying attention because I happen to be playing Mario Brothers, whatever the fuck it is. But like I'm always paying attention. So I'll chime in with some bullshit, and people are like, I can't believe he's fucking listening. I'm like, I'm always listening. And then Jennifer's like, yeah, no, he does this. Don't worry. He's always listening. He'll just chime in with something that's, some degree of ridiculous or offensive. Just, you'll get used to it kind of thing. And our food
Thank you,
comes.
my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Our food comes. Nicole comes back to the table. We're sitting down, we're eating. And I go to put my Switch back into my case. And this lady's like, oh, so you got a whole thing for it and everything, huh?
Oh my
And I'm
god.
like, well, yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna take it out into the world, I want it to be safe. It's expensive. I don't want to get all dirty and shit. So I put it in the case. And she's like, and you just can't leave home without it?
Oh my
And I'm
god.
like, well, no, I can totally. I'm fucking 40 almost. Like I can leave the house without my Nintendo. I just didn't today. I brought the yeah, I put it in the put it in the case. It's fine, whatever. And then Nicole's like shaking her head already, like, oh no. And this lady goes, but you can't leave home without. You can't leave it at home. And I said, well, I bring it because in situations like this, there's always a chance you might sit across from an unpleasant stranger you'd rather not talk to. And then Nicole got up and walked away. And then she didn't say a word the rest about it to me. I don't think she liked it. I think it got too real.
She couldn't resist, and
Yeah.
she got what she was asking for.
Yeah.
Yep.
She
Yeah.
thought she was gonna belittle you the rest of the
No.
night, but no.
No, I fucking better than you've tried, lady. Like, I don't fucking think so. So that was a highlight.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, don't want none, don't start none.
Yeah, nothing quite like dunking on an uppity stranger.
I can understand the stranger dunking on you, but I feel like the rest of them should have been like, no, don't do that. Don't. Like, we should change that subject.
Like, you don't know what you're getting into, lady.
Yeah.
Arms too short to box with God. That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty great. It was rad. So what you got going on, Nice?
Man, not a whole lot, except Netflix finally locked my parents out of our account.
Oh my god.
Shit.
So that's it. We're canceling Netflix. And but we still have it until the 22nd of June, I believe. So we're trying to watch all of Netflix in the meantime.
That's what I do with stars.
Yeah. I watched all three seasons.
All three seasons?
I watched all 3 seasons of I Think You Should Leave, which is the Tim Robinson sketch show on Netflix.
Oh, I've seen 900,000 clips on TikTok.
Yes, you've seen all the memes, the hot dog man, who could be responsible for this. We should find out the guy who did this, all that.
Oh, you know what? I never knew that was the same guy.
Yeah.
I've seen the one I've been seeing over and over this week is when he tries to start the pay it forward chain in the restaurant in the drive-through, and he goes screeching back around to get in line again.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like 15 minutes apiece. So it definitely gives me Tim and Eric vibes, but the production value is intentionally better. It's the Lonely Island guys produce it, but I would say
Really? Okay.
it's about 33% hilarious, 33% just sad and depressing,
Yeah.
and then the other
Exactly.
33% is yelling.
I saw the one where he plays the egg game.
Right. Mary just sent me the link to the actual
I saw the
game.
egg game. Yeah, I saw that one. But like, I tried to watch an episode maybe when the first season came out, and I remember being like, this is just awkward.
Yeah. There's a lot
More than
of
it's
that.
funny. It's just awkward.
Well,
you know?
I think I saw it on
The
Twitter.
style funny.
The theory that the last line in all of the sketches, or most of the sketches, is "I think you should leave," but they never say it. They cut right before that. It makes sense for a majority of the sketches because
Okay.
there are people that should definitely think about leaving. And then last night we
I
started.
feel like that's true for most places.
Yeah, last night we started Kunk on Earth.
Kunk.
Kunk on Earth,
What?
which is a 5-episode documentary on the history of Earth, hosted by Philomena Kunk, and it's like
The
I'm sorry.
Philomena
the
Kunk.
Philomena Kunk.
Wow.
Imagine like a Borat scenario where
Of
you're
the Newberry Kunks.
you're setting up interviews with scholars and educators and
Ska bands.
ska bands and all this. And it's under the pretense, like with Borat, that he's an immigrant. You know, there might be a little bit of breakdown in communication because of the language barrier, and they just kind of have to smile and grin and bear it. You know, his culture is different. Now, this woman, she shows up looking like a put together BBC reporter with her hair done and a suit and all that, and then she asks the dumbest fucking questions you've ever heard, and you have to watch these people squirm in their seats. I described it to Mary as her voiceover when describing simple things. You know, we're talking about the history of the Earth here. She describes things as no one on Earth has ever described them before, and that's where a lot of the comedy comes from. It's the first time
All right.
someone has described like a rock the way she did. Just very convoluted and hilarious. I think it's worth giving a shot. 5 episodes. I think they're about a half an hour apiece. Yeah. So what's next? I mean, we could watch the last season of Stranger Things. We could watch Umbrella Academy. There's so many movies and stuff. So if anybody has Netflix recommendations, let me know, because I got
that Ultraman anime. It's a good time.
I got 15 days left. You know what, Lee? I'll do it. I'll watch it.
It's pretty good. I think you'd like it. It's very superhero-y.
I like superheroes.
Yeah, it's definitely more American superhero than Japanese superhero for sure.
Nice.
Nice.
It's one of the most American superhero animes I've ever seen, but it's still got enough stuff where you're like, oh no, this is definitely a Japanese superhero. Because they don't do like straight superheroes.
I mean, it's
Well,
Pride
It's
Month.
always something.
It is Pride
Oh my
Month.
god.
Bless you.
I didn't hit the mute button in time. Sorry.
Sorry, Lee.
The other day,
What you got going on, Kelly?
hold on,
Oh,
I got
shit,
one
sorry,
more
go
thing I gotta say.
Hold
Lee.
on, Lee.
Please.
He's not finished.
The other
Damn,
day,
always with the,
haven't done
with
that
the
in
what
so
you got
long.
Kellys.
no. You were right to move on, but your sneeze made me think of a funny anecdote. We were probably
The man wants to tell an anecdote, Lee.
we might have been having some silly goose time in the garage, and then we came back inside, and at one point, Mary was starting to sneeze, and I copied her energy and sneezed along with her, and we thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Wow.
Who does
No, that's
that?
That's a good time.
The wow.
No,
from Kelly.
That's a good bit. I'm not mad about that.
She came up for air, and she was like, "What the fuck did you do?"
I approve of that energy. Well done. Now, Kelly, what's up? How was your week, Kelly? How's your past
Hold
2
on.
weeks, Kelly?
Hold on. Nice. Are you sure you're done?
I'm positive. I might have
You
another.
sure you don't have anything else?
I might be able to
say?
interject with a silly anecdote later on, but I'll make sure
Okay.
to ask permission.
No,
No,
you just
you
let
don't
us
have to
know.
ask permission. I just want you. I want you to be able to say everything you did this week.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say everything I did
Tell us everything.
because it's
Yeah, well,
either going to
Jeff-
be too much or it's going to be not enough.
What'd you have for breakfast?
I had a cup of coffee and a Belvita, dark
All right.
chocolate
All right,
sandwich cookies.
those
I-
things are good. I like those.
Dunk them in my coffee so they get nice and soft, but you can't dunk them for too long because then they'll fall into your coffee.
Yeah,
Well,
that I don't dunk cookies because I always think it'll just fall apart, and then I don't want to have just cookie hanging out in the bottom of my cup.
Right.
I gotta tell you, you're really missing out, Kelly. You gotta get over that fear because Dunkin' Cookies is one of the best things.
Well,
in the
yeah,
world.
but the problem with Belvita is they're longer cookies. They're like double
Well,
wides.
yes. Those in particular, you have to be very careful.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're very
I
brittle.
was making a generalization. and
There have
saying
been a
he
few
doesn't dip
times
his
where I'm
cookies.
dunking my Belvita in my coffee and it snaps off and drops and splashes in the coffee
Oh,
and the
that's
fucking
the
coffee
worst.
goes everywhere. That's when you know you're gonna have a fucking cool ass day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that reminds me.
Dunking
One
your
time I
Belvita
was
in your coffee is a euphemism for sex.
Mm-hmm.
I dumped an entire cup of coffee on the ground one day, and I
Yeah.
was just like, "Well, today's gonna be great." Huh?
Yeah.
Just to watch it spill.
yeah.
You know,
I
you just
Starting
gotta,
off the day like a champion.
I used up an entire roll of paper towels to soak it up out of the carpet.
Kelly walked in to a Dunkin' Donuts, was like, "One coffee, please," and then dumped it on the ground.
that literally sounds like a think you should leave sketch.
And then I just go, "Have a day," and leave.
Have a day. Katie asked me if I would get her a coffee the other day, and I was like, "You know what coffee is? You just pour water through beans until you got bean-flavored juice, then you drink it." She was like, "That can't be real." It's like, "Nah, for real. That's exactly what it is."
Look it up.
I was like, they just rebranded it and called it coffee. Just made up a word.
That's great.
That's so fucking funny.
So did she turn around on coffee then and decide, "No, thank you.
Yeah, she was like, I don't need that in my life."
I don't need any of this bean juice."
I was like, cold brew, like warm, hot stuff, they like, put it through hot water and whatever, but like cold brew, they literally just soak a bunch of beans in water and then they're like, "Here, you want to drink the excess? Drink the beanless bean water."
Oh, so that's what cold brew is. I thought it was just where they just don't use hot water. It's the same process but cold. That makes sense.
I think they soak it overnight.
How do they make a caramel macchiato, Mahoney?
I think it's just coffee with chocolate too, isn't it? Isn't that a macchiato?
I mean, it's caramel.
Well, yeah, then there's caramel in there, but I think
Yeah.
the macchiato style it's like half coffee, half chocolate.
Mm.
Then
But I don't know.
what's
I don't drink any of it, so I don't know.
what's an Americano?
I believe it's just a regular old coffee.
Oh.
It's because you
Alright.
can't say you like your coffee black anymore.
Ah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's the woke mind virus.
Yeah, they're coming for
God.
everything.
First our Bud Light, then our Target stores.
Yep. Look, I just
I-
want to drink a Bud Light and not feel like I'm turning into a woman.
My favorite Bud Light protest is the country singer who plays "Another One Bites the Dust" while he throws Bud Light cans on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bud, yeah, definitely
showing
definitely play a song by gay icon Freddie Mercury while you protest Bud Light being too accepting.
When you
Perfect.
It's very
Really?
much the Family Guy bit where Peter's like, "Fuck, Freddie Mercury couldn't be gay, he had a mustache."
Yeah, exactly.
When you really look through history, if you really pay attention to the details, man, shit was gay as fuck for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still is.
Yeah.
And then the 50s happened.
No, because even in the 60s and 70s and 80s,
Well,
Look
but
at
no,
some
the
of
50s
those-
happened.
look at
and
some
then
of
it
those
took the
preppy
counterculture
outfits in the 80s,
revolution of
Kelly.
the 60s to bring it back, though. Like, he's right.
Yeah.
Like,
True. No,
the
absolutely.
60s fucking
The
squared
50s
everything
is
up.
when it was really hidden away, and then now all the Republicans just want to get back to the wonderful time of the 50s.
Exactly.
You know, that's very fair. When they say like back to what it used to be, they really do truly just mean the 50s.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They
Yeah.
want gays in the closet and blacks as second-class citizens.
Yep.
Pretty much. That's how you make it great again, you guys.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Ridiculous. What a time, you guys. What
Yeah.
a time.
All right. Kelly week now. Okay. What have I been up to? I went to see
What
Kamen
have you been
Rider.
up to, Kelly?
Lee, let's talk about Kamen Rider again. Okay.
It's pretty
Uh,
fucking dope, you guys.
It's real cool. I hope it gets at least like a Blu-ray, some sort of official release over on the States, because I
How many
really want
comments
to
did you
see
write?
it again.
Yeah, if they did Ultraman, they'll do this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a very cool time. What was not a cool time was waking up early the next morning because a plumber had to come out because we had a pipe that was cracked in the wall. And then I got to drop $1,800 on getting 10 feet of new pipe.
That's
And
a
we
lot.
Still have an 8-foot tall long hole in the wall. So that's
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, did he patch the hole? I bet he didn't patch the hole.
gotta have some other guys come out to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
hey,
the type of thing you can absolutely do that yourself. It's actually not very hard, but there is very much an art to it.
yeah, I
And
ain't
if you
doing that.
don't do it the way, like if you don't do it perfect, you're gonna see it forever.
Well, right.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a bathroom, so it has to be a specific type of drywall. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of that is hard. Getting it so it's invisible is hard.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, but also consider, how's Kelly going to get a sheet of drywall home?
He doesn't have to
Yeah.
get the whole sheet home. He just has to go buy a sheet, cut it to size, and leave it in a shopping cart.
Yeah, I don't know shit about shit when it comes to building a wall, so I am more than happy to pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
At
do
one
it.
point, like when the guy was telling me, you know, he goes and takes out the chunk in the wall. He tells me about like, all right, so it's gonna be like 1787 to do this. Do you still want me to go ahead? And I look at him like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. You do it.
That's one of those we want to be like, buddy, what do you think my options are here?
Yeah.
You
That
put
was
a fucking
when,
hole in my wall.
when we moved, the mover was like, do we have to fit this gas grill in the van? I was like, am I going to put it in my car? Like, what do you think? Of course you have to take it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
the
so that-
movers.
Yeah, it's like you just do it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, thank you for the information. I can take it from here. Don't worry,
Well,
I got
I
this.
think the response he was expecting was, no, I don't want to pay $1,800 to fix this, so bye-bye. He probably gets that a
Yeah.
lot. And that's how hoarder houses end up with not a working bathroom and
Yeah.
just fucking piles of shit in the corner.
Insane.
That's
But
an
yeah.
awful lot. Like that's a ton of fucking money for that job.
Oh yeah,
Like
but
that job is not that. Like I've done that before. Like that's not that fucking difficult. That's an insane amount of money for that job.
Lee, are you telling me I've been had?
I mean,
Just a
I
skosh,
think
buddy.
cutting the pipe out of the wall and replacing it is a decent amount of
And it's
time.
likely an older house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it $2,000 worth of work? That's so
I mean,
fucking
probably
much.
not $2,000, no.
I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, like, Lee, you know all about paying somebody to fucking do something. Sometimes it's just worth it. Just bite the bullet.
Oh no, I'm not saying it
Yeah.
wasn't worth it. I'm just saying it's a lot. Like,
It
it's
is.
definitely
Yeah.
worth it.
No, it's a lot.
It's not
Not-
a cool amount of money by any means.
No, but it's
would've-
not something I will have the know-how to
Yeah.
do, so I will just pay them to do it.
It would have been a lot more chill if the plumber was like, you know what, this one's on the house, Kelly. I listened
Yeah.
to the podcast.
You know, you seem real chill. I got you.
He was like, oh shit, it's a water pipe? You need water. All right, I got this.
He's like,
Aw,
man,
it's leaking out of your toilet water? That means there's going to be poo-poo in your walls.
Ugh.
he says, man, I haven't seen damage this bad since the last Kamen Rider movie.
Since that one guy in Tennessee with all the pork in his pipes.
Good old pork pipes.
Yep. Yeah, so that was my Thursday, and then I took off Friday because going into Friday I was like, who knows? I might not be able to shower for whatever reason tomorrow because there's water issues. So I'm just gonna take the day off preemptively.
Nice.
So that was a lovely day, and then I saw Spider-Verse, which we are going to talk about later,
Hell yeah.
and just had a overall lovely weekend. Took a nice 4-day weekend.
That's a good turnaround from a plumbing emergency, because plumbing
Yeah.
emergencies will fuck up your month.
Well, the thing was, it wasn't so much an emergency, because once I caught that it was an issue, it was like, okay. It was like in the middle of winter at that point, and it's like, all right, we have 2 bathrooms.
Uh-huh.
We don't need the 2 of them. We can just use the one and just not flush this toilet, and then eventually once shit gets fine and we can get things over here, then it's like, all right, cool, we can have them come out. So it wasn't so much an emergency, it was just something that had to be done eventually. Yeah. And it was finally like, all right, I guess we're gonna get them out here today.
Was it the drain?
So it was pretty much the pipe that connects the toilet to the drain to the wherever toilet water goes.
Is it what puts water in your toilet or takes water out of your toilet?
Takes water out.
Oh, that's yucky.
That's a much bigger. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because
once I thought it was a puts water in situation, but
no, it was a takes water out. And luckily, I caught it. I must have caught it like right when it happened, just by chance of flushing the toilet upstairs and then going down to the basement for something. And then being in the basement and just seeing water start running down the pipe and like, well, that seems wrong.
That's no bueno.
And then I went up, I was like, well, I'll test this again tomorrow. And then I did the same thing. I'm like, yep, look at that. More water. Guess this toilet isn't getting used for a while.
That sucks. That sucks
But hey,
so bad.
Now I can flush that toilet all I fucking want.
And you got a nice view.
Yeah.
Flush it real good.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, luckily I caught it before all of a sudden we just had like water leaking through the walls.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, mold and mildew aren't super cool, and then add shit particles into that as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're looking at some black mold.
Oh yeah.
Or as they call it today, Americano mold.
Yes.
What killed the pirates, Kelly?
Yep. Is that why they all had eye patches?
Yeah.
Because they're just like, yar, I got the mold in my eye.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah, probably too many glory holes on those pirate ships. Just glory hole accidents.
It was a lot of people looking like, oh, what's in this hole? And then a penis came through.
Boink. And it's not that they like damaged the eye, just gave him pink eye.
Yeah.
Every pirate is just currently experiencing pink eye.
Fucking nonsense.
Man,
nonsense.
I really liked Hangman's eye patch, and then he got rid of it, and I was like, oh man, he could have hung out with that cool eye patch for a little bit more.
Yeah, that eye patch was rad.
Lots of dudes with eye patches.
Oh, we didn't talk about the pay-per-view last week because we didn't have a show last week.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. We didn't.
Oh, that's a real shame.
I know. You know what? Probably AEW's worst pay-per-view.
Well,
The time
okay.
for that is past.
I mean, that's unfair, I would say, because they had a whole Jacksonville era with no fans of pay-per-views.
I think some of those were better, though.
I would have
Most
to
of those were
look
better.
at it on paper.
Because I think a good chunk of this one, until like the top 2 matches, you can skip the entire rest of the card. It's all okay to bad.
I enjoyed myself. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed the fucking FTR Jeff Jarrett Jay Lethal match.
So that was great to me as soon as it became a Jeff Jarrett match.
Oh, yeah. It was overbooked garbage.
Yeah. Once it turned into that, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I am nostalgic for that era of TNA.
Yes. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I guess we'll get nostalgic for everything.
Yeah. But like I thought the top 2 matches were great. I thought the 4-way was fantastic. Everyone came out of that looking great, and I loved the main event.
Yeah.
It's so rare for everyone to come out of a 4-way happy.
I know. Look, sometimes once everyone puts in a good amount of effort and everyone gets a good amount of shine, they get in all their top stuff, they get their shit in for sure, you got to work together.
We've seen that. We've all seen that meme about what happens when you come in at orgy. Do you have to sit out like you're at a paintball game?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a penalty box.
Yeah. If you've been in an orgy, let us know.
And we're talking an orgy. We're not talking an Ohio threesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
AKA
There's got to be
divorce
like
pile.
at least 12 people.
Not just 2 people who want to be there and 1 person who has to be there out of obligation.
Yeah.
The real fucking deal.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Mahoney? Why the hell were you in Boston last week? Who goes to Boston by choice?
Nobody goes to Boston by choice. I had to go for work. I had to go.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
This was horrendous. So they were doing a leadership event, and I had to go stand in the lobby outside of the room where they all were.
No.
So that when they came out for breaks, they could mosey over to our little setup and be like, "Oh, tell me about this."
Ugh.
As though that's what they want to do when they like just get out of whatever thing they just saw. They're like, "What do I want to do? I want to like talk to these strangers about this system at work."
Did you have like a booth, or you were just standing there?
We had like a computer. We had 4 computer screens all hooked up to different things with all different apps on each one.
You, sir, regale me on your apps.
Exactly. And then we were just standing there. I stood there all day. And we had to be there at 7 a.m. because they wanted, any foot traffic while they had breakfast.
Ugh.
So I had to be in Boston, which is like, it's like 40 minutes from my house, but that's if, traffic is no
That's
traffic.
optimum
That's
condition.
never going to happen. So I had to leave my house at like 5. I got there at like 7:10.
That's
was ridiculous.
horrible.
Yeah.
That was 10 minutes where you could have been teaching somebody your app, Mahoney. What the fuck?
It is. It is.
It's
But
funny.
I will say, I was like, well, this is so stupid. And we had to submit this thing at the end of like, how many people did you talk to and all this? And I was like, all right, well, we talked to like 40 people. And they just sent the thing out today. And the other things got like 10. Like no one was interested. So like, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do it, but not for nothing. My app was the draw. Everybody came wanted to hear about mine. So I was like, yeah, we got like 40 people, not a lot, but it was fine. And then everybody else was like, we got 10. It's like, oh, get shit on.
It kind of reminds me of last year's WeedCon, where there were finance events happening at the Westgate Hotel, which was not in the convention center. It was a nice 30-minute walk from the convention center.
Oh.
And I had to go there by myself on some morning. I forget which day it was. Carrying all the camera equipment. Get there for this finance seminar where they're doing like a breakfast and panels and shit like that. 8 a.m. There's like 20 people there.
Yeah.
To fill up like a whole auditorium. So it's like,
yeah,
my presence
to somehow make it look full.
Yeah, my presence is wasted.
To look full, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, could y'all group together, please? I need to get a shot.
Yeah. People love getting video taken of them when they're eating breakfast. I don't know if you guys know this or not.
Yeah, at a
the
weed
best.
convention. They're like, you're going to put this on the internet, right?
Yeah. Time well spent.
So, yeah, I had to go to Boston for that. It was obnoxious. And then when I parked, the parking garage, as you pay, you pay with your corporate card. And I'm like, all right, I need a receipt because they'll need that for my expenses. And the machine's just like, oh yeah, printer error, which means it's out of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, fuck, because now I'm gonna have to be like, I didn't get a receipt, and they're gonna like make me go back and forth 6 times. So I just took a picture of the machine that said printer error. It's like, here, I tried. What do you want me to do about it?
Give me my $10.
Yeah, exactly. It was like 25. I'm like, can we not pretend like $25 is a big deal to the richest woman in Massachusetts? Like, so
The richest woman in Massachusetts, who we all know is Samantha Adams.
yes. Descendant of Sam Adams, of course.
A direct descendant.
Yeah.
Direct descendant. The only last surviving descendant.
Yeah.
Adjacent to the Kunk family.
I tell you
It
what.
was a wild time.
Did I say the right name? That felt like a slur.
You
coming out of my
did.
mouth.
You did say the right name.
Kelly over there with the slurs again. Other than that, the only thing going on is our pool heater has been broken. And it's been broken like the whole season, but Lisa like wasn't ready to hear it. You know, like you'd go to get in the pool and you'd be like, "Oh, pool's cold," and she'd be like, "No, the thing says it's 85."
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
it's fine.
I don't give a shit what the thing says. This is not 85-degree water. Like,
Well, maybe
cold.
you're anemic. Have you thought about that, Mahoney?
maybe.
Get in
So
the
then-
pool.
The other day, the pool heater turned off because the pool heater was like, "Oh, your pool is 115 degrees. Like, I cannot make it any warmer. You'll die." And it was like, it's not even 75. Like, there's obviously something wrong.
It waits all the way until 115 degrees, huh?
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
so
like,
then-
nah, this is too hot.
Then she's, now that she's willing to admit it, it's like instant panic. She's like, "Oh God, oh no, the pool heater. What are we gonna do?" And I'm like, "Well, hon, the beauty of this is, it's basically an escalator. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the pool heater broke. So now what you have is a pool. Like, you're fine. Like, everything's fine.
Yeah, it's
Like, have you
summer.
heard about the sun?
Yeah, exactly. Like, just it'll be warm." But
Yeah,
they
just
came.
give it a minute. It'll be cool. I promise.
They were like, I was like, obviously the temperature sensor is broken. And she was like, "Well, we need the electrician to come out." The electrician came out and was like, "Oh, your temperature sensor is broken." I was like, yeah, no shit. So they fixed that, and we should be back in business.
Back to swimming in 115-degree water.
Yeah. Gonna
I was
cook
like, I
us
wish.
some Mahonies.
That was a phenomenal moment in time. The first day we were outside, it was like Will's birthday party or something. And she wanted people to be able to swim. And she's like, "I'm going to check and see if the pool's warm." And she starts walking like away. I'm like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I'm going over to the thing, see what the temperature is." I'm like, "Stick your hand in it." Like, what do you mean you're going over there to see what the numbers say? Like, put your hand in and see if it's warm. And she's like, "Why would I put my hand in? I want to see like what the actual thing is." And then this whole time it's been broken. So I'm like, this is why when you want to test the temperature, you just stick your hand in.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. Wild times in the Mahoney household.
We should talk about what we're going to do to ruin this dude's life that's been following your wife around.
Oh my God, right? So she didn't even tell me this
fucking
story. She didn't even tell me this story, but today in the group chat, she's like, "Oh yeah, I go to field day at Will's school." And this guy comes up and is like, "Oh hey, are you Lisa Mahoney? Did you go to high school, like at this high school for these years? And do you work at this company? And also, were you in Disney World in April?" I'm just like, okay. Like, and I'm saying to her after the fact, I'm like, even if you knew all those things about somebody, why would you say it out loud?
Nope.
Yeah,
Like, nope.
no.
It shows
no.
a real lack of knowing that you're a creep. Like,
Yeah.
if let's say there was a stranger who I was like, "Oh, I think I remember them from high school," and then I saw them in Florida, and I was like, "Oh no shit, it's that person I always see at work," and now here they are at Florida. I would
What are
never,
the chances?
in
Yeah.
my life, never tell them that story. You know,
No.
like, what's your deal?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because
He's
that
a
is
creep.
just. So I've been watching you.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
exactly. I told her I was
Real-
going to screenshot his name and save it for when she goes missing, so I can give it to the police.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go, officer. I'm sure that he framed it to look like I did it, but it was definitely this guy.
Yeah, the spouse is always the number one suspect, but make sure you got some other info on you.
Did he
officer,
also?
you don't understand. We have a pool, and she takes care of it. So why would I have done anything of this nature?
Did he also say, "Is your husband Dan Mahoney of the Panels on Pages podcast"?
Well, no, that was the best part, Kelly, is when she was like, oh, yeah, like my husband, because she was trying to be like, hey, I'm married. And she's like, my husband's a squad lead at the same company. And he was like, oh, I'm a squad lead of 2 squads, though. It's like, okay, you win the contest.
Did he also go?
You're getting taken advantage of. You're welcome.
You're not gonna have a husband much longer.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
So unsettling.
Very strange. I don't recognize him. I went to the same high school. I don't know your loser ass, so.
Wow.
You may remember me from fighting over a yoo-hoo.
No, it's I would remember those kids.
Varmint?
No, I'm Rascal.
Oh,
Varmint made
Rascal!
good.
Have you talked to Varmint lately?
Not since the incident.
Varmint's now Tina.
Tina named himself after the fucking llama from Napoleon Dynamite.
You ever think about what a strange movie that was to become such a big like mainstream hit?
Yeah.
It was.
It's such a bizarre thing to get to that people just latched onto. Like I watched that in grade school. For whatever reason we watched that for a movie day at some point.
Because
it was why?
It was non-threatening too.
That's true, yeah.
There's no real.
I have never seen it.
Movie night.
I don't think it could have come out at any other point in history than the exact point that it did.
No.
You released Napoleon Dynamite in 2023? Nope, sorry. Straight to fucking Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what, 20-something years later, Lisa will be like, my mom, and I'll be like, your mom goes to college.
Tina, come get your dinner.
Yeah. Like, what a fucking amazing line.
Yeah.
2004. We're coming
Your
up
mom
on the
goes to
20-year
college.
anniversary.
Oh my god. You guys
We're gonna
know
have to
that
watch it.
they did Nacho Libre, the dudes who did Napoleon Dynamite.
No
Yeah.
way.
I forget what their name is, but I think the writer is like they're brothers. And I think Napoleon Dynamite's one of the brothers or something like that.
Oh, the Russos?
No, it's not the Russos.
Definitely the Russos. It's Jared and Joshua Hess.
Yes.
It was John Heder was Napoleon Dynamite.
Right. So he's not one of the brothers, but
might be one
Or,
of
sorry,
them.
not Joshua. Joshua.
Joshua?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm
Okay.
Joshua.
My brain autocorrected it to Joshua.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Knowing that his name is Joshua is all you need to know about how Napoleon Dynamite came to be.
Mary's been saying for sure a lot lately, and it just makes me think of Janice from Muppets Mayhem. For sure.
Okay, they also did Gentlemen Broncos,
You say
Which-
so.
is a movie that I know the name of, but I
Yeah.
don't know anything about.
I feel like
You didn't watch that movie.
Gerard Butler's in that.
It stars Michael Anganaro, Jermaine Clement, Jennifer Coolidge, and Sam Rockwell.
Huh.
Sounds awful.
Jennifer Coolidge.
It looks like a fake. Shit, who's the guy that did Rushmore? Whose name I can't think of right now?
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson. It looks like a fake Wes Anderson
Yeah.
movie. I mean, kind of all their movies look like fake Wes Anderson movies. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh man, 2025 untitled Minecraft film.
The Hess brothers?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I hope they try to make a live action Minecraft. That'd be so
They
fucking
literally
stupid.
are, I believe.
Yeah,
It's got to be a cartoon. It'd be so
Untitled
fucking dumb with live
Minecraft
action.
No,
film.
I'm pretty
Lee.
sure it's live action because it's like, oh, a live action Minecraft movie is just life.
Not to
So
spoil one of the jokes in Kunk on Earth, but she's talking about how the pyramids were built, and it cuts to footage of them building the pyramids in Minecraft.
Oh no.
Stupid.
It is no. There are a lot of points where you're watching it where you go, "Oh my god, this is so stupid," but it's amazing. It's very fun.
No, I'm into it. You've definitely sold me on it.
Yeah.
It sounds great. Like legit.
All right. How about some?
Oh yeah. Oh. After what feels like forever, we finally got into the Spider-Verse. And you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this or not, guys, but it's pretty good. Pretty darn good, that spider picture.
Very, very, very good.
Yeah. High expectations because that first one is downright perfect.
Is my favorite superhero movie by a mile, and this is right up there now.
Who can blame you? It really
Yeah, I mean, you're right, though.
captures the
Like,
spirit, you know?
Yeah, and it is like perfect. Like
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
a level of love and respect to the source material that is not seen very often.
Yes.
it's a Spider-Man nerd movie, just as much as it's a Spider-Man movie. Because like it's about Spider-Man as much as it's about Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, like the
Yeah, it's-
concept of Spider-Man.
Yes, it's very much about the idea of Spider-Man along with just being about Spider-Man.
Right.
it's fucking great. And it is, honestly, it's one of those rare things where it's like, oh no, this is a perfect movie. I will not be entertaining any negative takes because you're just wrong. You're
Yeah.
just fucking wrong.
Somebody
and
I
it's
was
cool.
talking
Look,
to today
not
was like,
everybody's right all the time. You know,
I
sometimes
liked
it's just
everything
fucking
about the
wrong.
movie but the ending. I was like, what?
Yeah, so obviously, spoilers.
Yeah, but for
Yeah,
me,
go ahead.
like the ending, it's serialized storytelling is just so baked into comic DNA, like that doesn't
Yeah.
even bother me.
No, agreed. I was like, how
just
else would it have ended?
How
Like, what
this
do you mean?
is.
And it's just, and you know, and because I think they've taken out the part 1 and the part 2. I think the next one's going to be called Beyond the
It's-
Spider-Verse. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because this
Beyond,
one's what,
yeah.
across?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
there's
maybe-
Into, then there's Across, and then the next is Beyond.
There you go. I think
That's
maybe since
that's
they took
one
off the part
complaint
1
I have about
confusing it.
these. It's along with the last trilogy of Spider-Man movies. They need to fucking name these in ways that is easy to remember.
Yeah.
I can never remember the last Spider-Man movie. I can never fucking remember.
Oh,
which one.
no,
was gonna
I
say
have no
Far From
idea
Home.
which
I know
one.
it's not. Far From Home is the Mysterio one. I know that.
Yeah,
How
I don't
is
know
it-
which is any of those.
How
Just
is it that
The
we're
last one
numbers?
was
Give me
Homewrecker.
numbers.
we're 15
real.
years into the renaissance of superhero movies, but no one has had the balls to name their superhero movies superhero number 1, superhero number 2,
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man
Iron Man.
number 1.
It was Iron Man 1, 2, 3. That's the
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
one that they've
and
done.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man did it that way.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm talking like with the number sign, like a comic book.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
okay, I get you.
No, since
Oh,
Iron Man is the only one that did that since like the MCU started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to get cute, you know, Guardians Volume 1, 2, 3, kind of the same.
Right.
Okay, yeah, no. That one works.
Yeah. That one almost goes closer to the comic book roots than
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
But I saw some people on the Discord even were like, I didn't like the fucking to be continued or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool, you're wrong.
Sorry, Shark.
You know who you are.
I was like, okay, did you not like Empire Strikes Back? Like, what did you
That's the
not like
thing, to me-
Infinity War? Like,
To me, this is absolutely the empire of this trilogy of movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because it ends, it tells a story. It has a
Right.
beginning, a middle, and an end, but it also ends on a fucking downer, and you want to see what happens next. It is straight up empire.
yeah.
It's-
Empire Strikes Back, Infinity War did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I told you a tale. That tale is now over. Come back in a year, I'll tell you the rest.
Yeah.
I remember in the theater though, like it wasn't because I caught that they were sending him to Earth 42 when they were fighting in the HQ. I caught that like for a second. I'm like, oh, okay, so. And he goes to his house, and I'm like, okay, so this isn't his house, but he doesn't know it's not his house yet. That's gonna be a thing,
Yeah.
And then his uncle comes in, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking wild, And then his uncle makes some crack about like some job they're going on together, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then he fucking gets cocked on the roof, and I put it together right then. I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, oh, the rest of these people are going to lose their goddamn minds in a minute.
Yeah.
And they sure did.
Yeah.
The
You
fucking
should have
kids
seen Will's
were beside
face.
themselves. Yeah.
Yep. Same as you. I saw the machine be like Earth 42, and I was like, that's not the right Earth.
Yep. That's not where you should go.
Yeah.
But that fucking
but when
spider.
the fucking
It makes
Prowler
sense
pulls his
that
mask
it would
off.
scan for
It
spider
does.
stuff.
Yeah. And when the Prowler pulls his helmet off, and Jax is like, who is that? And they go, you know who it is, buddy. He's like, no! It's such a good ending. Such a good ending.
Yeah.
And I really like the notion that Miles himself like is the anomaly. Like, he accidentally got bit by the spider dies, so he fucked the whole universe out of it, Spider-Man. It's kind of awesome. Like, it's a really, really good bit. And it's some real good Spider-Man shit. You know what I mean?
Right,
like he needs like a good Spider-Man needs that fucking that internal always there guilt. And now he has it.
Exactly. Exactly. Little Easter egg for you, because I know you two are not on TikTok. If you go back to Into the Spider-Verse, the spider glitches like any other character who's not in their correct dimension.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
See, I love that because that just shows they're not making this shit up as they go along.
Nope. They knew that all along.
Looking at you, Star Wars.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Somehow, Miles is an anomaly.
Somehow.
Like, what?
Well, it's funny. You could even do it. You could do that meme with Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 29.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So much good stuff, man. I like that they did all the stuff with Gwen at the beginning. I love that they colored her world just like they color the comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
The coloring on that whole section of the movie is incredible.
And then they fight like an actual paper vulture, which is ridiculous.
That looked so cool.
It did look so cool.
Everything looks so fucking cool. It all looks so rad. Everything looks great. All the performances
The Spot
are great.
was amazing.
Dude, the Spot becoming the big bad because no one takes him seriously is so great.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like when he's trying to steal that ATM and Miles is like, hey man, how much of this empanada? And the guy's like, get this asshole out of here and you can just have it. Get this fucking clown out of the store. That's all I really care about. And he's all like, I'm your nemesis. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then sure as shit, he's definitely his nemesis.
He's definitely his nemesis. And like, of all the characters from the first one, I love that it's that one.
Yeah, the guy that he fucking hit in the head with a bagel.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, dude.
He's like, you hit me in the head. You threw a bagel at me. And he goes, I throw a lot of baked goods at a lot of people. Oh, I love the part where Miles is just gaslighting his dad, trying to giving him like advice. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And then he's like, maybe try getting off his ass. So what? Oh, I gotta go.
All the stuff with his family is great. I liked that we got to see more of his mom this time around. Because the first movie, she didn't really do much, it felt like. So this, they gave her kind of a good amount of stuff. So that was cool.
Yep.
Well, it's like that they had a massive hit with the first one. So I mean, this movie was like 2.5 hours long. They gave it time. I feel like there was nobody like they'll tell you. Lord Miller will tell you up and down like the studio did not believe in the first one at all. Like they were like, this is never going to work. Whatever. So I feel like they had that good faith. They're able to really pad out and flesh out all these other side characters because that's like, again, it's good Spider-Man shit. His supporting cast matters. That's
Yep.
it. Spider-Man needs a good supporting cast, and they really kind of fleshed a lot of characters out. It's great.
They could have easily made this just one 5-hour-long movie, and I would have been perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I remember looking at my watch and being like, "Oh, there's only a half hour left. That sucks."
Did you catch
Like,
the
oh, no.
extremely subtle that the Earth 42 miles has more of an accent?
Yes. Yeah.
No, like more of a
Yeah.
Spanish accent.
Yeah,
Yep.
because his raised by his mom.
Oh, because his dad's not around.
'Cause his
Oh,
dad's
yeah,
not
that makes
around.
sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was.
I feel like they also renamed his dad though, because which is kind of
maybe.
silly. It kind of makes sense because his dad's name is Jefferson Davis, and his mom's name is Morales. Like your mom's name is Morales, but Jefferson Davis was also the Confederate president.
Oh, okay. What's the Prowler's name? I thought the Prowler was Jefferson Davis.
Aaron Davis.
Aaron Davis. Yeah.
Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr, the Prowler.
Yeah, somebody at some point was like, we
Well,
Googled
good.
the name. we
Put me down on the team for let's just forget every Confederacy thing that they're proud of. So
Yeah.
Speaking
Speaking of Prowler, they put Donald Glover in a live action cameo as the Prowler.
That
Oh my
made me
God.
so happy to see
That
live
was
action
amazing.
people in this movie.
Yes. Yeah, they did the live action Prowler, which, for all we know, that's the MCU Prowler. May as well be.
could be, yeah.
Seen
Could
him.
be.
I love when the Spot pops into the grocery store with the lady from Venom. Like,
Yes.
it's real fucking cool.
I popped
Yes.
huge for that, and I think I was the only person in my theater that knew what that was.
yeah,
I
don't think
was
anyone else got it
waiting
but
for
me.
Venom to show up. I was like, Will's gonna lose his goddamn mind if Venom shows up.
Yeah, and he's like, you're not really reacting to this. It's almost like weird stuff happens here all the time, and she just
Yeah.
no sells him.
Yeah. The fucking Lego universe. Like
Lego
just-
is so good. I didn't realize that they just used audio from the first Spider-Man movie for J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, I didn't either.
fantastic.
So another thing I learned on TikTok, that whole Lego bit was animated by like some 14-year-old kid.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was all actual just stop motion.
Yeah. Like, cool. Can you
And
imagine?
it really
You're like-
made me want that fucking Daily Bugle Lego set. But I was
It
like,
rules.
I
You're
just-
gonna
I
want to
just-
get that. It's great.
I just spent a bunch of money. I can't justify that right now.
Well, it's only going to get more expensive, Kelly.
That's the thing.
it's
yeah,
it's still in stock on the Lego store, so I think
and
they've
but
still.
that shit can change any day, Kelly.
Yeah, really.
Lego's one of
Yeah.
those things.
Could be
It's
out
all
of
right,
stock
Kelly.
tomorrow and
It's
never
all right.
come back.
You're
Like,
right.
I'm just saying, if you had to bank on paying off a credit card or waiting for the Lego store to get the Daily Bugle back in stock, like, just pay off the credit card.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It really is a better investment than gold these days.
For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
I remember when Nicole and I first started getting into the modular buildings. I was like, "Oh shit, they made a fire hall. That's pretty cool." I'm gonna look and oh my god, it's $800 now. Okay, so this town does not have a fire hall.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing will go up like a tinderbox.
That fucking Batcave, Bat Signal Lego set. That's like, what was it? Like $600.
Yeah,
Oh, that thing looks insane.
yeah.
Is that the one that, like, folds out?
Yeah.
It's like a shadow box. Yeah,
Yeah, that one looks amazing.
fucking old ass Alfred.
I was looking at IMDb,
Yes.
and apparently, according to IMDb, neither of the Sex Pest creators of Spider-Gwen are thanked in the credits.
Well, good.
I wonder if
No,
that was
one of them was in the credits for something.
All right. Well, I just
Yeah.
did a quick look, and I did not
Yeah.
find him.
I want to say Jason Latour was in there for something.
Well, at least they're
Yeah,
not
quite
prominent.
possibly.
Because I remember seeing that name and being like, ugh, I guess.
Yuck.
One of the other Easter eggs that I learned on TikTok is if you go back to Into the Spider-Verse, there's the scene where Miles meets Peter Parker, the one who dies, and both of their spider senses starts going off. And Peter's spider sense is red and blue behind him, and then it cuts to Miles, and his is green and purple, and then very slowly, very subtly shifts to red and blue, which is like he was the Prowler. He was meant to be the Prowler.
Oh.
And then he
son.
met Peter and got bit by this wrong spider and was like, oh, nope, you're Spider-Man now. Like, that's the moment where, like, the world changed.
Okay.
That's wild. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, not only did he rob a universe with their Spider-Man, it's like, oh yeah, you also killed this Spider-Man. So like,
Yeah.
if it weren't not for you, they really doubled down on this fucking kid. Yeah. You fucked the universe out of their Spider-Man. You killed your Spider-Man. And you look, your dad's got to die. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah, that was a rough afternoon for Miles. But I love it though. I love that they call the canon event like as a concept is so fucking
Yeah.
great. Like it's
Yeah.
such a cool thing, and that's some Spider-Man nerd shit. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, whenever they were on that Earth and it's like, oh, no, like, his girlfriend's police captain dad is in danger. It's like, well, that's
Uh-huh.
not going to end well.
yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, this guy's fucked. But then he saves them, and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then a giant hole opens up, and you're like,
exactly.
that's
It's
kind of
like,
weird.
Nope, that should not have occurred.
Oh, so good. Such a good concept. And I love that they showed all the, all the examples from the fucking live action movies. They showed that I'm always happy when Spectacular Spider-Man gets some fucking play. They got Josh Keaton
Yeah.
come back and play Peter
That
for
was
a minute.
cool.
Like, because fucking heads up, Spectacular Spider-Man is on Disney Plus now, and it is
Yep.
Oh, is it?
the best Spider-Man cartoon. It's so good.
It
It's
sure
so
is.
good. I cannot recommend that show enough. But it was developed by Greg Weisman, homeboy who made Gargoyles. So, of course it's good.
Ah.
Makes
All
all
the
the sense in the
variant
world.
Spider-Man. Phenomenal.
Some of them they just created for the comics like a few months ago.
Yeah.
So they must have, some of them are brand fucking new, which is kind of wild.
My favorite was Peter Parked Car, the
Yeah.
actual car.
That was good.
Yeah. Peter Parked Car, the cowboy, and he's like,
The
why is
fucking
the horse wearing
cowboy.
a mask to hide his face. Like, oh, right, of course.
I was real bummed we didn't get Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's got him in the background somewhere, I guess. But I really wanted to see in that fucking
I think he's
fight
coming.
chase sequence.
I think
Here
he's
comes a
coming in the
giant
next one.
robot. Oh.
Yeah, if we get a giant robot fight in the next one, all is forgiven.
Because you got, what's her name? Penny Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she's Team Gwen, and you just know that when she's like, I got a big robot, that Miguel's going to be like, oh, yeah? Meet my big robot.
We got a Megazord, bitch.
Because they did all of it at the same time, right? If I recall.
You would think.
Pretty
Yeah, I
sure
think
that
so, yeah.
they did it, like, the voice actors have all recorded the whole movie, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And they may still be like editing parts of it, like, animating or editing. But the next one comes out in like March.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw someone make a comment that we need to get this writer strike over with so that we can get the next Spider-Verse movie out. And it's like, that shit is already written and recorded and
Oh, yeah.
probably mostly animated by this point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like they might be working on some finishing stuff because
Take
all
all the time you need because it looks
elaborate.
really fucking neat. Yeah, all that
Yeah.
extra shit takes time, I'm sure. All the stuff that makes it look like, a work of art.
Right.
Yeah,
That
come
you
to life.
honestly probably don't even notice. Take
Oh, yeah.
somebody a day and a half to do an effect and it just
Yeah.
blows right over our heads.
I still think that first one is going to end up being one of the single most important movies of the modern era in terms of just influence.
I agree.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
look at the
already
new
see it.
Ninja Turtle movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah,
the-
And I also think it's going to birth an entire new generation of animators.
The Disney movie that's coming out this summer, Wish, definitely has some Spider-Verse
Yeah.
inspiration in it with the kind of hand drawn on the CGI.
Yep.
I don't think I've heard of that one. I know they're doing that Element movie, but that's Pixar. I
The
guess.
first time I saw
Oh yeah, the
thing
Element
for-
movie is coming out this summer. The Wish one is, I think, in the fall. That's where I got
Yeah.
confused.
Okay.
First time I saw a clip for the Wish movie, I thought it was an AI thing. Like, we told an AI to make a Disney movie. Like, it looks like some kind of cross between Rapunzel and Encanto, and like all. And I'm just like, okay, this is very obviously fake. And then it was not fake.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
okay.
AI finally got the hang of fingers. Now it's just got to figure out teeth, and then I think it's all good.
Yeah, teeth of the new tell.
I told an AI Instagram model to show me them fingers or show me them hands, and then like a week later she posted a picture with her hands showing. I'm like, wow, AI is improving fast.
Oh my god.
Her boobs keep getting bigger.
The AI model.
Yeah.
The AI knows what people want.
I mean, yeah.
Huh.
That's a
looks
real cool hell that we've created for ourselves, where we're just going to be like, is this AI or is it not?
Yeah.
And you know me and my eye for CGI.
This Wish looks fucking weird. Huh. All right, I'm not mad about it.
I just realized something nice. Have you seen the movie?
I have not.
Oh no!
I mean, we all knew. You should have known. He told you he hadn't
Well-
seen it.
It's fine.
Well,
I'm the only one who listens to Nights.
that's not fair. I listened to.
What happened to you and Mary going to see it tonight or yesterday?
It just didn't happen.
Damn it, Mary.
We're both on our periods.
Ah.
It's fine.
Well, buddy, it's real good.
Yeah, you should go see
I've
it.
heard.
It is
You're
one of
still
those
gonna
things
love it.
where it's like, that's exactly it. Like, even if you do know some of the plot points, and hell, even if you know the ending, it's still such a fucking a feast for the eyes.
Yeah.
That it,
I mean, as we just described, it's not an ending that's going to catch you by surprise.
Right.
Like, it caught Will by surprise. It caught the children in the audience by surprise. But anybody who's experienced a comic book is like, I know exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I will have to say, one of my criticisms of the original Spider-Verse was I expected more Spider-Man. And it
Buddy?
seems like
Well, yeah.
this
buckle
one
up.
definitely delivers on that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Every
I think
possible
they had
Spider-Man
to-
you can think of.
Yeah, they couldn't go whole hog and just toss all of them in the first movie.
Yeah,
'cause
it
they're
makes
like,
sense because it's like
It'll overwhelm people.
into the Spider-Verse, just dipping the little Tootsie in it.
Yeah.
And now we're across the Spider-Verse. And then next one's going to be what? Balls deep in the Spider-Verse?
yeah.
Basically. I mean, you know, with the next one is Beyond the Spider-Verse, which with the way this one ended, you can pretty much be like, oh, okay, so this is where we break this whole cycle where it's, you know, not everybody has to go through these terrible events and like, sorry, Spider-Man, like your dad's gotta die, like, you know,
Mhm.
this is gonna be Miles like being the thing that makes that different.
I still wonder if Tom Holland's going to show up in this next one.
Fuck, man, he might.
I'm honestly
Right.
surprised he
Entirely
didn't show up in
possible.
this one.
He showed up in
He
name.
referenced him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2099 was basically like, I fucking hate that Tom Holland kid.
Yeah. He's like him and that Doctor Strange fucking up everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because he's bitching about having to hold the multiverse together, and he's like, "Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man from whatever fucking Earth and whatever." And Miles is like, "Wait, a doctor?" And he's like, "What'd the doctor do?" Yeah,
Got himself some Strange.
it's fucking great. so
Yeah,
good.
I'm just,
It
I'm
is.
like, there's nothing I disliked about it. Like, it's just,
Nah, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I fucking dare you. Like, come at me with some bullshit. I would love that.
yeah.
I don't like. I understand being like, oh, it ended as a cliffhanger. I didn't get any resolution. But Lee, as you mentioned, yeah, you did. You got a complete story, and also,
Absolutely did.
like, did you not know that there was a third one coming out? Like, is this your first time watching a movie with a sequel? Did you think it was all gonna like wrap up? You know, like I simply don't get it.
Yeah.
You just gotta let the idiots be idiots, you know?
And again, it's comics. Like, this is comic shit. Like, of course it's
Yeah.
gonna be serialized.
That I feel that. So you all know that I don't pay attention when I watch things, and you don't. It doesn't come up with the bunch of you as often as it does with the others. But people will be like, "What if you missed something?" I'm like, I don't know. I spent my entire childhood reading stories where I didn't have parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that has fundamentally changed how I consume media as well. Because,
Right.
like, there's a lot of stuff where I just kind of accept, like, yeah, I'm not going to know that.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
fine.
know what happened there. It's fine. I'll
Yeah.
find out someday, maybe, or I won't. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because, like, there's so many people who are just like, I need everything explained to me.
Yeah.
I need to know this and this. And it's like, it's just some shit you're not going to know.
Little
I was
Mahoney.
checking out that. Oh, go ahead.
Little Mahoney reading West Coast Avengers, and they reference something, and there's a little box in the corner that says, to learn this reference, read Avengers number 712. And Mahoney's like, well, I don't have that, so I guess I'll go
Exactly.
fuck
Exactly.
myself.
Yeah, I would
no.
write it down on a piece of notebook paper and take it, twice a year to Boston to go to a convention and be like, do you have Avengers 712? So I need to know what the fuck this means.
Yeah.
I picked up that. I've been reading the Spider-Man 2099 miniseries that they're doing right now with
that any
Carnage
good?
and shit. It's pretty fun. It's fun. It's Spider-Man 2099 horse shit. But there's like a Spider-Woman running around now, and she's like an alien. And I'm like, oh, I guess that happened at some point. I don't know where she came from, but now there's an alien Spider-Woman. Okay, cool. Let's fucking go. It's exactly what you're describing.
Isn't it
Yep.
wild to kind of sit back and think, but let's go back to the 90s when we're reading Wizard and collecting toys and the trading cards and all that, and then you fast forward to 2023 and there is a blockbuster movie where one of the main characters is Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
Okay.
features
Oh, well.
Scarlet Spider.
No, oh, yeah.
Voiced
Okay.
by
No,
Andy
wait,
Samberg.
wait. I was like, okay, we got to talk about that. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to save that for you, Knives.
Okay.
I'm going to let you experience the Scarlet Spider completely fresh-eyed.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
very good.
Yeah. It is very good. A lot of it is just very, very good.
Very good.
Yeah. Just it's fucking perfect.
A lot of
it's
a lot of it
wall
is just exactly like, yep, that's how that should be.
Yep.
Yeah.
No notes. Like, great. Which it's one of those things where it is so good that everyone involved must have fucking obsessed over it. Because
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't happen by accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, what a fucking love letter. It's so good.
And like, you guys know me. If you get something Spider-Man wrong, I'll hate you forever.
I know.
What's that fucking shit-ass Avengers movie? Endgame.
One of the greatest movies of our generation.
It sucks.
Kelly doesn't like it because Spider-Man stabs a dog.
Yeah. Bad movie.
It's so great. It's
And
so good. You're
this-
gonna love it, Nice.
Does not have that problem.
It
They
has
understand Spider-Man.
no problems. It has no problems. So good. Fuck, I
You
wanna
know,
go
this
watch it
made
right
me
now.
finally pop in the Miles Morales video game disc into my PS4 to start playing
it's
that,
great. It's
and
very good.
goddamn, that game's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great game.
And
I
that
bet.
new one looks pretty cool.
Man,
that's probably gonna be what gets me to buy a PS5.
they put a long. I think I shared it with you guys. They put like a 10-minute like gameplay clip up online the other day of Peter fighting with the symbiote. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Brutal.
It's amazing.
I cannot wait.
He's palling around. Cool. Peter in the symbiote is palling around with Miles, and Miles is like, "Hey, Peter Parker, how's it going?" And Peter Parker's like, "Fuck you, kid."
Yeah, it looks fucking cool. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
And I guess from what I was reading, you'll pretty much just be able to switch between the two of them whenever. Like, I'm sure there are
which is awesome.
I'm sure there are certain segments where you have to be one or the other, but knowing that you can just essentially switch at will is pretty cool.
That is,
it
cool.
Reminds me a lot of the Grand Theft Auto 5 mechanic, which is pretty cool. There's 3 main characters, and just like you said, some parts you have to drive as that character, but otherwise you can switch whenever you want to. And one of the funnest parts of a Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the characters is a fucking lunatic. He's just like a, drunk, fucking drugged out maniac. And every once in a while, if you switch to Trevor, most of the time, like, you switch to one guy and he's like in his house, or like, he'll be in traffic, whatever. If you switch to Trevor, one time he was just in the middle of the mountains one day wearing a tutu. Like, he was drunk, passed out on the ground, and I had to find a road to call a cab to get back to anything I wanted to do because he was just blitzed out of his mind on a mountain.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Trevor, you fucking maniac.
There's been a couple of people who have connected the thread because all of us were big Community fans, and all of us are big comic fans. So we generally know the story of. The piece I didn't know is Dan Harmon made Community because he met his wife in community college, and wrote that whole series as the story of him and his wife in college. That of course launches Donald Glover to the mainstream. Donald Glover wears the Spider-Man t-shirt because they're trying to cast Amazing Spider-Man. People are like, What about Donald Glover? He's great.
Right.
The internet's like, can't be Donald Glover. He's black.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, Spider-Man's literally Spider-Man. He wears a mask all day. Like, who cares what color he is? Donald Glover wears the Spider-Man t-shirt. Like, it's a whole thing. Donald Glover, doesn't get cast. They go with Andrew Garfield. And then Brian Michael Bendis takes that whole thing and creates Miles Morales. And is like, you know what? Why can't there be a black Spider-Man? Like, why not? Let's do it. And makes it. So, literally... Dan Harmon taking community college Spanish and meeting his wife led to Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, led to everything we're experiencing right now.
Now we've got Americano Spider-Man.
Exactly.
He's Spider-Man Whopper last week, y'all.
It's really amazing to see how it all
Spider-Man
kind of plays
Whopper.
Yeah, there's a Spider-Man Whopper, y'all.
Yep.
It'll make you shit red.
That
was the first thing I thought when I saw that.
Yeah, they're like, don't worry, it's beet juice. Sure, Burger King.
But talking about the Miles Morales game, there's this really cool bit where, growing up, reading comics, watching, cartoons and movies and shit like that, whenever Norman Osborn shows up, you're like, oh, this motherfucker is going to be the Green Goblin at some point. That's what's going to happen. Norman becomes the Goblin. And I remember when I saw Jax. Jax was playing the Miles Morales game, and Miles, as Spider-Man, he does something he saves his uncle from something at the train station, early on in one of the levels, and it was really cool seeing the next generation. Jax is like, oh man, I bet he's gonna become the Prowler soon, and I'm like, that's fucking cool, to get that experience to the next generation. It's different. It's the same as what we had, but different. Very
right. That's awesome.
Very cool. Spider-Man's real good, y'all. Which is why it sucks when Spider-Man's bad.
Yep.
This whole nonsense with the extra dimensional weird god thing where Zeb Wells is just jerking off to a character he created 15 years ago that literally nobody remembers but him.
Yeah.
That's bad Spider-Man. There's some bad Spider-Man comics happening right now.
The whole run is just bums me out. And it's everyone's just laying how horrible it is at the feet of Zeb Wells, and it's like that's not fair, because like you've got the editor-in-chief going on panels at Comic Cons being like, well, the fans don't actually want Peter and Mary Jane to be married, and it's like, well, fuck off, that's not true. So they're the ones
not true.
They're the ones mandating this, and then obviously it's an editorial call to kill off Miss Marvel.
Right.
Oh, of course.
It's
Like, that's not something Zeb Wells was just like, yeah, I think I want to do this in Spider-Man. And it's like, no, they want to kill her off so they can bring her back as a mutant in a couple months to coincide with the movie release.
You kill her off. It's huge news. They're still living off the death of Superman. They're like, yeah. You kill somebody. We get in the New York Times. Everybody will go see the
you're right.
Marvels.
Fucking Krakoa's going to bring her back.
Right.
Yeah.
She's an Inhuman, but also a mutant. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you're going to bring her back
Exactly.
as a mutant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And it's
exactly
just
what's
like
gonna happen.
the people are reacting to this as though she's dead and never coming back, and it's just like I guess you just don't understand comics.
Talk
at
about
this
the
point.
first a new generation going through
Yeah.
it. Like
I
maybe
guess,
not that, you know?
yeah.
But the thing is, but what I don't like about it is that, like, you know, not everyone's gonna like everything. You know, art is subjective. But so much of what's going on in this Zeb Wells run of Spider-Man seems like it was engineered in a lab to upset people, and that sucks.
Yes,
like
it
it's
really
doing
does.
for
It
the
feels
sake
like
of
they're
doing
just getting it all out of the way at once.
Yeah, and that's not good storytelling. That just sucks.
Ooh.
That's punching your audience for no good fucking reason, and that's what I don't like. It pisses me off.
When
It
was
really
the last
feels like they
time-
did the. Go on.
When was the last time that comics really pissed everybody off? Maybe they just sales have been dropping, so they're like, all right, we need to stir up the Twitterverse.
It's probably the last time I can think of to this level was probably Captain America becoming a Nazi.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
Oh,
Secret
remember
Empire.
when they were like, "Oh, I don't know what to tell you. It's definitely not the Cosmic Cube," and everyone's like, "It absolutely has to be the Cosmic Cube." He's like,
Yeah.
"No, it's not the Cosmic Cube." I'm like, "Buddy, it's definitely the Cosmic Cube." He's like, "No,"
Yeah.
and then like, "Okay, guys."
They're like, haha, it's the Cosmic Cube. You never saw it coming.
Remember
Like,
when
yeah,
they made
fucking no.
Remember when they made Andrew Garfield lie for like 6 months promoting
yeah.
another movie when Spider-Man was coming out?
Yeah. Have you seen the clips of Tom Holland making the mistake and basically saying that he was in it? Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
that's why they can't fucking tell him anything.
they can't tell him shit, and they didn't even tell him anything really.
No.
I mean, I guess he knew that Andrew Garfield was going to be in
Yeah,
it.
because they had to shoot stuff together.
Yeah, they had to shoot stuff together. But he's sitting there in a interview with Zendaya, and the interviewer's like, yeah, that stunt you did, like, looked, or like, basically, like, you did all your own stunts. And she's like, yeah. And Tom Holland's like, I mean, that one you did, where you, like, that shit looked crazy. And, like, obviously, I wasn't there, but, like, it still looked crazy. And then his face just goes white. And it's like, well, wait a minute. If she falls off a building, like, who catches her if you don't catch her? Like, like,
Yeah. That's
I
why
love
they
the-
give him scripts that don't have pages that he's not on
Yeah.
in them.
He's just so
Yeah.
excited, like
He
I
is so
remember
excited.
I saw a clip when they were doing one of the Avengers movies. I forget what it was, but they sent like Mark Ruffalo out with him for all the presser things,
yes.
and he'd get excited talking about something, and Mark Ruffalo would just go like ah,
Yeah, exactly.
over and over again. He'd be like
Exactly. Like the interviewer would ask a question and Mark Ruffalo would be like, no.
You ask me that one. Don't ask him.
Yeah.
This kid can't be trusted. That's good shit.
Yeah, Lee, do you think that they did the because I think they did the Mary Jane and Peter, like the explanation of why they're not together directly leading into the death of Miss Marvel, to just have the Miss Marvel stuff kind of cover up the Mary Jane stuff, so they're like, all right, we'll move on from this really quick.
It very
Probably.
well could be. And the Mary Jane stuff is it's stupid. Like, it's not even like it's a good story. Like,
No.
if you got such a hard on for getting them apart, even though they were very clearly written before this to get back together. And I like Peter and Felicia. I've always liked Peter
Yes,
and Felicia.
I
as a
like
couple.
them together
I
a lot.
always liked them. I've always liked them together. But it doesn't change the fact that they definitely wrote
Oh,
a story.
okay. Well, I mean, then you can clearly see. So, recall that the whole Tom Holland Spider-Man 456 thing was an unresolved thing up until what, a year ago, 18 months ago, maybe 2 years now, right?
Right.
So they were like, yeah, sure, get MJ and him back together, until they got the green light on 4, 5, and 6, which is rumored to have the Black Cat as the love interest, and then they were like, no, MJ's gone, it's Felicia again. Like, we got to make it match the upcoming movies, you know?
I don't know. They just the legs were there.
Yeah.
The legs were there to get that story going, and then the first issue of Zeb Wells' run, they did this fucking dumb time jump thing, and like everyone hated Peter again. And you're like, fuck, like come on.
And like looking back now, why were they so fucking mad about it?
Yeah, right. Like he did. Yeah, it's a bad story. It's just a bad story. Like,
and it sucks because the stuff that's not directly this bad story is really good.
Yeah. Like I like again, the Felicia stuff is good. I like the weird the weird like White Rabbit stuff is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Where keeps bumping into White Rabbit and her crew, and the one guy that he keeps like webbing up, and the guy never stays in jail, and he's like, why are you still with her? Like every time I see you, I punch you in the head and web you to something. Why are you still hanging out with this crazy chick?
Yeah, like all the Tombstone stuff has been really great. Like,
yeah,
when it's not being forced to do this stupid garbage, it's really good and gives us a look at what this run could have been if it wasn't just forced to be shitty.
Yeah, that's a real fucking bummer because he's a talented dude.
Yeah.
Talented dude. Oh, speaking of weird, shitty Spider-Man stories, Straczynski's writing Captain America again.
Dude, why? Why are they letting him do that? Why would you let that man write your comics?
I thought of you immediately when I saw that. I go, oh, Kelly's going to be thrilled.
The last time he wrote fucking superhero comics, he bailed.
I haven't thought of him in 10 years.
Yeah, last time he did superhero books, it was the fucking Superman book where he had Superman walk across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's right.
And at one point, a little kid came over to him and was like, "Hey, can you stop this like drug dealer that was in my neighborhood?" And Superman's like, "Nah, you got this," and kept on walking. And then he's like, all right, what if Wonder Woman has pants now? And then he pieced out like 2 issues into that, and after everyone got all riled up about it. And then they did the New 52, and it was all erased anyways. Like, I don't understand why you would give that dude your comics at this point. What value? He doesn't even have name value anymore. He writes shitty stuff at other companies that sell tens of copies.
Yeah, he's the #1 sales writer at fucking Lion Forge Press or some shit.
No, AWA.
I don't even know what that is.
Artists,
I honestly gotta have no idea
writers,
what that is.
Something. It's Axel Alonso's thing.
Didn't Vern Gagne book that?
He did.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, so if you wonder where Mike Deodato went, it's that company.
No shit.
He's doing shit. He puts out a bunch of books for them.
Really? I wonder what happened to him.
Yeah, no, that's where he is.
Axel Alonso, Mike Deodato, and JMS doing books. Okay,
pretty much. They've got a handful of other people that do stuff for them, but it's like that's the core roster.
Never heard of it. Damn, that's nuts. Right,
the nice thing about them is like all their trades are $10, which is cool.
Oh, that is kind of nice.
Yeah,
that is nice. See, so you can do something right. You do one thing right, that counts for something.
Well, another thing they used to do that was pretty cool was they would send out like promo copies of their books to shops where it'd be like, here's almost like a trade format. Here's all of the books we're putting out in that given month in like they're in black and white in like kind of unfinished proofs, but it's like, hey, you can read our entire books like 3 months before they're out. It's like, that's cool.
That's really smart, actually.
That's really smart.
Yeah, that's great. Especially
Like,
for
there
something
was
like that's unknown. That's kind of genius, actually.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff they did right, but it's just like, the books are all kind of just all right. Like, they've got some books, but again, when your top guy is JMS, like, I don't know.
And now he's like, top guy out.
Yeah.
Wild.
Like, the best thing that company put out was, there's one book they did that's really good, which the name escapes me, but it is a retelling of Macbeth as a 80s Southern wrestling territory.
Really?
Yes, it's fucking brilliant. Like, it's a great comic.
Awesome. Like, that sounds like fucking, yeah, okay.
I need to find out what this was called because I cannot remember. Because it was really good, and just one of those where it's like, huh, okay. And like, there was did I mention a couple months back when Daniel Warren Johnson was at my work?
No.
You might have, but I don't know who Daniel Warren Johnson is.
He does a bunch of like, he's a comic writer and artist, and he did Do a Power Bomb, which was one of the few good wrestling comics to ever exist. And we both were like, oh, wait, that one came out, and that was really good, too.
That's pretty funny.
What the fuck is this book called? Red? No. Crimson Cage.
Crimson. I'm going to write that shit down.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's really great. It was written by John Lees with art by Alex Cormack. Really, really great read.
Dig that up.
Trying to think, like, what else have they put out that's been decent? Not All Robots I have in my reading pile. That's by Mark Russell and Deodato about, like, I guess an AI or robot family, which, knowing Mark Russell, should be really good.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's all robots.
That's really. I mean, Frank Cho had a book there at one point. They did an adaptation of Great Gatsby.
Cho still drawing big booties and boobies.
They did a series called Hotel that was written by the same guy that did Crimson Cage. That was like single issue stories that all center on this weird roadside hotel. That was a pretty good one. Garth Ennis did a book there.
Literally never heard of this fucking publisher.
Yeah, no, they're within the past couple of years.
All right.
I mean, definitely the pandemic slowed their growth.
I could see that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sold me on this Not All Robots, because Mark Russell is a fucking madman. I'm going into that. I still talk about that damn Flintstones book he made.
That Flintstones book is fucking great.
Yeah. Has no right to be that good.
Yeah. Did you ever read the Snagglepuss book he did?
No.
Yeah, that one's fucked. Yeah, he did a 6-issue Snagglepuss miniseries about Snagglepuss as a gay author in like the 50s.
I remember when that came out.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
I would have thought for sure Lee had read it. Lee, you were reading those Flintstones books, weren't you?
Yeah.
It was like same era as those weird Flintstones books.
It was a little after, it was maybe a couple months after Flintstones ended, then the Snagglepuss came out.
My shit.
It is a rough read. In that, like, by the time you're done, you're gonna feel real bummed out.
Oh, fucking poor Snagglepuss.
Yeah, it is a depressing read.
Oh.
And then, did you read his Superman Space Age that came out recently with Mike Allred on art?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was
cool. That was a cool
cool
alternate Earth take on Superman. Yeah, Mark Russell's a guy that pretty much anything he does, I'll check out.
Yeah, I think the new Peacemaker with new Kyle Stark's Peacemaker, I think, comes out tomorrow.
Yep,
And
issue 2's out tomorrow.
I'm way into that because
That book ruled. I do love now they just straight up draw him as John Cena.
yes, absolutely they do, 100%. He's fucking like the beginning of the book. He's trying to get like a discount at the store, and you're like, "I'm Peacemaker." She's like, "Good for you." like no one knows who the fuck he is.
Oh, I forgot to mention in I Think You Should Leave, there are cameos from multiple wrestlers, including Brody King, Eric Rowan, Damian Sandow, and Nick Nemeth are in it.
What an odd collection of wrestlers that is.
Yes. I mean, I feel like it's just wrestlers that were available in LA.
Yeah.
That is super weird.
Damian Sandow is in the sketch with the drive-through, where the guy tries to get the pay it forward back to him.
Oh my god, so good. That one I think you would enjoy, Lee. He pulls up the order. I don't know what his original order is, but it's like cheap, you know. Then he's like, you know what? I also want to pay for the guy behind me, and it's like $6 or something. And he's like, just trying to start a pay it forward chain. You know, do like hopefully like it really just makes somebody's day.
Hopefully it catches on.
Then he peels out and goes tearing around the building. And as he's trying to get back in line, this other car is trying to get in line, and they like, you know, stop, and they're like basically tied, and he's screaming, "You have to let me go! I'm doing something! I'm doing something! You have to let me go!" And she's like, "Okay, go!" And he pulls up to the window, and just like I said, he's like, 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 pizzas, 55 cakes. Like he's just like, and they're like, "Okay, that'll be $680." And then the guy in the car in front of him like leans out his window and looks back at him.
All right, that's a good bit.
So good.
That's a good bit. That's tremendous.
It's so funny.
All right, let's call it. It's a fucking good show. Go see Spider-Man, Knives. I'm really bummed out for you.
All right.
Fuck, I might go see it again tomorrow because I want to.
You
It's
should.
fucking real good.
You can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it again at some point.
Real good. Yeah. So we might talk about that some more next week. Who knows? Well, no, if Knives sees it, we'll definitely talk about it more next week. We'll have more super hot takes. It's so fucking good, you guys. Yeah. So we might have Jose next week too if he gets that toenail situation taken care of. Yeah.
We should, Jose.
So for Jason Knives, Jose Guzman, get well soon, buddy. Kelly Harrison, our good buddy Mahoney. I am the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez. We'll talk to you guys next week at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central at youtube.com/panelsonpages. Night, love ya, bye-bye.
You fucking Google ass bitch.
Fucking Google something.
Holy shit.
You fucking Google ass bitch.
I didn't want to say it.
What are you, some kind of bitch?
You fucking
Google ass bitch. Why you keep bugging us, YouTube?
you fucking Google ass bitch.
That's it. Show's over. We're done.
See you next Tuesday.